Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I'm going to go over Bitcoin. We got to go over the TradFi markets over here too, guys. The NASDAQ in particular, because I think this bad boy has made a top finally. And its invalidation point for what I said was going on here at the NASDAQ. Look how close it came. Right there. That 12,404 was the invalidation for that whole sequence, saying Omega is going to continue to go up, but it ticked it, missed it. 12,404.05 or 398, however you want to do that. So I think the NASDAQ is going to be coming down, guys. That's good, in my opinion, because you want this leg to correct. Corrections are just as healthy as impulse moves. Things to keep going up and up and up and up and up gets concerning. It's concerning. You want to see corrections. It's good for the market, guys. So for the NASDAQ, the deal is it going to correct this leg? I think you have a good shot that this is the leg it's going to be correcting, because in my opinion, this is an impulse move or leading type wedge move like this. Okay. You have a 5-way move here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It came back, corrected it. Here's a 3-way move. It's impulsive move. You check that out. Long drawn out, 4th wave, right on top of wave 1. And then it finished off with this, boom, boom, boom. Okay. Just like so. To make that wedge, leading type wedge pattern like that. That's what they look like. Kind of like a flag like that, guys. So it's going to do this correction over here, and going to have to see how that's going to affect the Bitcoin during this time, guys. The most important thing for the NASDAQ is to make sure it's in an uptrend. So, but a lot of people have questions of what's going on with the NASDAQ. And, you know, there's mostly bearish sentiment, people waiting for the crash. And they think this is it, and it's going to do a crash. I don't think so, guys. I think it's too early for that. Way too early for that, because you come to the monthly RSI, and you can see that it already did a crash right here. Boom. Okay. So the odds are it needs to do an uptrend if you want another one. Okay. You can see that I've been comparing it kind of to this area right over here. This is the 87 crash. And if you take a look at the RSI, this was more. So if you just look at the momentum indicator, 2022 was more than the 87 crash. Okay, but it went up into a 3-way move. So a lot of people on Twitter have been following me, asking some questions about this bounce that it's in. I think the NASDAQ and the TradFi markets, in my opinion, till proven otherwise, are in a multi-month bounce. The bounce can last anywhere from October, November, December. It can even go into January of 2024, maybe even longer, guys. Just really don't know. That's just a little bit of speculation right now. The important thing is for Bitcoin is that they're in an uptrend. Now, whether they're going up into a B wave, an X wave, or whatever you want to call that, it's going to be important for Bitcoin that they're in an uptrend. If they're in a corrective uptrend, then Bitcoin is going to be able to pull off a wave sequence, in my opinion. Okay. You can look at the history of the S&P 500 when it was between 2011 to 2020, 2021. The S&P, even though it was in a correction, there was times that Bitcoin still went up, okay, a little bit, but the S&P was in a correction, and kind of vice versa too. You take a look at that, overlay it over. It's not always exactly right. The important thing is for Bitcoin is that the TradFi markets are in an uptrend, whether they're, you know, at times you're going to be in a correction and then go up in a correction, go up in a correction like that, guys, okay? That's the important thing that you want to keep your eye on for Bitcoin to be able to go up. So, but if you take a look at the 1987 area right here, after it did its 87, you can see a 3-wave swing that it went up to and broke all-time highs. So some people asked about a B wave. Guys, B waves can be very, very bullish, even though it's in a corrective bounce, just like this. From 1987 all the way up to September of 1989, it went to a 3-wave swing for 2 years, okay? This is a B wave too. This is a 5-year B wave. It went up. Okay. Some people probably would call that a bull market, even though it's in a massive, massive correction. To show you another example of B waves and how powerful they can be is right here. Look at the New York Stock Exchange B wave. This is a massive flat. It came down into an A, went up into a B, and then the C wave got it wound up and bam, boom. You see that? Okay. Now, could it be doing something over there, guys? Well, it has a history of doing that. So here's a New York Stock Exchange, right? Look at that. Looks like it's a mini version of over here. Coming back down. New York Stock Exchange wants to go back up, break all-time highs, maybe sometime in the future, and then bam, it goes like that, right? I wouldn't be surprised if it does something like that. Dow Jones Industrial could do the same thing. Now, short term, I think Dow Jones Industrial is going to go up and break all-time highs and then come back down right here in its sequence. Dow Jones Industrial and went up. You see how big that wave 4 is? Look how big that wave 4 is. It's a big triangle that it did. And it's bigger than that wave. It's bigger than this wave if you take a look at that. So more than likely, see the Dow Jones Industrial. Here's this .com. It came back down, and this is a B wave. It came back down that fifth, break all-time high. So I think Dow Jones Industrial right here. You can see this little section right here. This fourth wave down here. It's probably going to go back up, and then boom, right back up there, and then boom. So what does that mean for Bitcoin? Okay, for the NASDAQ, could be the same thing till it proves to me otherwise. Okay. So can you say that that was the bottom and they're in a bull market? It's just a guess, guys. It is just a guess right now. It is just a guess. You got to wait for the waves to develop to see what's going to be going on. But I would stay on alert. Now, can this go on for 3 years? It could. It could, guys. This thing could trend up into a B wave for the next 3 years. And Bitcoin will go to the moon. If that happens, I mean, I'm sure it'll go to the moon, guys. This is new, this is actually new territory for Bitcoin. Okay. I'll show you why this is new territory for Bitcoin. Here's the S&P 500. This is why this is new territory. It has nothing to do with, well, it has a little bit to do, but let's just go over this way. I'm going to show you why. When did Bitcoin come out? Right in this area, right? Right at the area, the bottom of the S&P 500, March 2009. Right in this area is when Bitcoin came out. What has the S&P 500 done? It's gone into this massive wave run, okay? This is a massive wave run. You can break it all down. I show it to you right here in this monthly chart. You see, there's your third wave peak right there. You see that? That's your fourth wave. Boom, correction, went up. That's the fifth wave right there, okay? So you got right here, 1, 2, and this whole thing's your third. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Third wave peak, back down, fifth wave. So now it's in that section. So the deal is Bitcoin is in new territory because now the S&P 500 has this whole cycle from 2009 all the way up to December 2021, and it's over here, okay? And is it going to be trending up for a long time and then to correct? So what I'm saying is that with the S&P 500 here is that they came down into this correction, okay? And it can trend for who knows how long, guys, into this area. It can go October, it can go January. Maybe it's going to go on for a long time, all the way back up here and then come back down and do correction like that to make this whole section a correction. So take a look at this leg. It went down. So here's a fourth wave. You see how this leg, it came down? Look at this leg. It went from December of 18. It went to a 3-wave move all the way to January 20. So over a year, it made a 3-wave move. Boom, boom, boom. You see how big that one is? It actually went up. Look at that. It went up 46%. 46%. Okay, boom. So who's to say if I take look at this 3-wave move. I'm going to put a 3, 3-wave move just like that. Okay. And I could take that move and look at that. Look at that right there. You see, maybe something like that. And then, who knows, I mean, maybe it's going to come back down here, test just those lows, or maybe it's going to come back all the way back like that or something like that, guys. Right now, here's my point. My point is that you can't know for 100% if that is a bottom, and it's onto a new bull run. You can't. It's not possible, okay? Nobody can have that much certainty. You can make an educated guess. That's why it's important to watch this wave to develop to see what's going to go on with the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, guys. I think it's going to be up and to the right for probably quite a much longer time. It's going to have a correction in here in the NASDAQ, okay? The NASDAQ is going to have a correction in here, okay? It's going to go down for a little while. and then it's going to continue on this trend that it's doing right here in this move, and then continue up in this area. Now, if you're bullish, then this is 1-2. This is going to be 1-2, and maybe makes another 1-2, and it's going to do a rip out of there. Okay, but either way, it can still do a rip out of there because this could be A, B, and this is 1-2 of the C wave, and it could rip on a C wave. It's not uncommon for the NASDAQ to do a rip on a B wave. I mean, here's a 3-wave move on the NASDAQ. It ripped right there, did a connector, and a rip right there. You see that right there? That went up on a connector move just like so, guys. So 58% right there. This move over here is up, 24% from that low right there, more or less, something like that. Okay, so it could come up, boom, and maybe do another connector in this section and rip another one off. Don't know yet, guys. It's all just speculation. But what does that mean for Bitcoin? In the meantime, for Bitcoin, guys, if those guys are not ripping, but if they're kind of just trending up and to the right with Bitcoin, is that it can come up and make a wave. And Bitcoin's trend is going to go with the TradFi market. So if they're just kind of up and to the right, with corrections along the way, maybe Bitcoin will just kind of just trend up like this, and it could be going up for a wave up here, and then it's going to do a massive correction over here. Okay, it's going to kind of go with the cycles of the NASDAQ over here, guys. That's what it's going to do. The bearish sentiment right now is that this is a leg, and then it came here, and then it's going to be going down right now, guys. Don't think so. For it to do this leg and then just have this shallow connector like this is very, very odd. Very, very odd, in my opinion, okay? Very odd. And the thing is I always go people to zoom out to the monthly on the NASDAQ, and you can see that it has already really gone deep enough in this RSI on the monthly, and it really needs to do an uptrend for a period of time, and then maybe you can have the crash. I think the bears are just too early for their crash scenario that they're looking for. Okay, so either way, the NASDAQ is going to be very, very bullish for quite a few years to come, guys, on this monthly chart. Because in my opinion, right here with the NASDAQ, you're looking at a 1-2, and then this right here is going to be a 1, wherever this 2 is going to end up, and it's going to be going into a third wave. So tech stocks and everything else in there are going to be really, really ripping for going into those times right there, guys. I'm just not 100% convinced that is the bottom. Okay, I'm just being a little bit safer. So with Bitcoin, what does that mean with Bitcoin, guys? It could actually do this trend up into this wave sequence in these boxes. I still haven't seen any Bitcoin do anything unusual in this area, guys. So let's go through the times, on the daily, and look at the oscillators right now on Bitcoin. You have a very, very bullish wick. Could it come back down to do that? It's very bullish wick, telling you more than likely something completed right there. So more than likely you're looking at a 3-wave move. Okay, so you got a uptrend here, impulsive type move, and a 3-wave move back. Can it make a move up here and extend this correction? It very well could. It could do that. Oscillators taking it down. RSI, here's the stochastics all the way down there. Let's take a look at the 3-day. Bringing it back down, 3-day oscillator all the way down there. Let's take a look at the 5-day. Bringing it back down pretty well, correcting cycle. It's correcting some sort of cycle. So Bitcoin is either correcting this leg or it's correcting this whole thing. Okay, that's one. It's correcting this whole thing or it's correcting this leg to bring it back down, guys. Okay, I don't see, there's no evidence. More evidence is pointing towards it correcting the leg rather than going all the way back down here to these lower numbers that everybody thinks it's going to do. So don't think so. But if the NASDAQ, in my opinion, guys, you're looking at trends for the NASDAQ potentially, okay, the trend time I'm looking at for the NASDAQ is right now the September-October timeframe, okay? September-October timeframe, and maybe even out into January 24, guys, okay? With a grind, corrections, and then a grind out in those areas, okay? Maybe even those areas. That's all just speculation. And if the NASDAQ is going to be doing, some sort of grind back up, maybe it goes real bullish, guys, into a C wave. The more bullish this gets, the better for Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin is going to be making these moves up too, where it'll just be corrections and it'll just grind back up. So like I said, I haven't abandoned my targets for this 34 area. That red line is a CME futures gap right there. This target right here is a fair value gap. So that's 50% of that gap. And and then up into the box 2 area, guys, up into these areas too, still haven't abandoned that. So you have a 5-wave move here and you have a 5-wave move here. Okay. A 5 and a 5. All right. So if you're bearish, you can call that ABC. Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. You want to see this. You need to get more evidence of this breaking and getting candle bodies down here, guys, and breaking this trend line before you can come to that conclusion. And then you need to abandon that this right here. To me, it's not necessary to abandon it because what's going on in the oscillators? The oscillators are telling you that there's a correction, there's a move that went on, and it's coming down to correct that move. Okay, not doing not a top and it's bearish sequence and it's starting a new trend over here. The evidence is pointing more towards it's correcting. That's what I'm saying. Okay, guys. So another thing is too, what you can do is look at MicroStrategy. Okay, I'm gonna go harp over MicroStrategy. I still think MicroStrategy is in a correction, and I'm kind of actually expecting it now to get down to $240, which will be 1.618 of that leg for a 3-wave move right in this area. So bam, right down there, guys. Okay, and it could wick all the way down to 229. MicroStrategy is pretty volatile, more volatile than Bitcoin, if you can believe it. And the wave pattern that you have right here is you have clearly a 5-wave move right here. You have a 3-wave swing back down. So 5, 3, what's that? Buy signal. If you see 5 and 3, the odds are in your favor. If you see a 5-wave move up and you see a 3-wave pull back, the odds are highly probable is you'll get that. Okay. That's just, can it deviate from that? It can. And that's what stop loss is for, mitigating your risk. But the odds are that will happen. So with MicroStrategy, you have a clearly 5-wave move there, and you have another one right here in a wedge type pattern. You have a 3-wave pullback. You have a 3-wave pullback. So I'm waiting to see what it's going to be sussing out with MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy come back down here, spend some more time developing its bottom, and make another move here, and then come back down like in this area, boring more people out of the market while it's getting ready to go over here like that, guys. It could take some time to do that. So I'm still got targets, higher end targets on MicroStrategy to hit 410 and potentially up there to 543, guys. So if MicroStrategy is going to be hitting those targets, correct it and up there, more than likely Bitcoin will probably be having higher end targets too sometime in the future, guys. Now, the time for what's going on here, I'm not expecting Bitcoin to do anything for the month of May for the next 2 weeks, guys. Possibly might see some movement starting in June. So the rest of the alts, even though they're forming a nice bottom, like Gala in their wave sequence and some other assets that I've been looking at, forming nice bottoms and stuff, guys. Even Phantom looked like it's doing pretty good. And things like that, guys. I don't think that they're going to be doing much until Bitcoin is finished in this area, guys. So unfortunately, the cryptocurrency is highly dependent on what Bitcoin is going to do. And it'll just drag them down, guys. So that's one of the disadvantages, of my opinion, of the cryptocurrency market, is that it's so reliant on Bitcoin and on what Ethereum is doing, particularly Bitcoin. So if you want to be able to have wave runs in the market while lots of things are going down, I showed examples of that. You can do that with stocks. Very, very common. Elf Beauty was one, I think, went up 3 or 4x while everything was going down. You can find stocks like that in those markets, guys. So you know, that's just how it is with crypto, man. It's a shame for crypto that has to be like that, with so reliant on Bitcoin. So unfortunately, that's a negative to crypto, in my opinion. If you made it all the way to the end, do me a huge favor, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Peace.